What's good, YouTube? We have our new, reigning, defending, undisputed YCS champion of London, Jesse Cotton, who is stacking those world points once again. If you don't know who Jesse Cotton is, Jesse managed to take down the world's points for Canada last year, and this year it's a bit different for YCS, as YCS's matter a bit more. If you top a YCS where there's 32 invites given out, you get 32 points automatically, then you get points based on your placing as well. So if you make first place, you get 32 more points there, such as this YCS London event. Jesse Cotton walking away with 64 points using Spyrals, and check out these real sick moves. Ooh, we got both ways here. Jesse going in here. I think it is awesome how London's coverage is just insanely made and built. The Facebook updates over and over throughout the weekend, even showing the specific top matches, shouting out that a certain top match is up. And I think we had an awesome look overall at the top 32. Now, 27 Spyrals. All right, that's a bit much. That's getting to the point where this deck is needing to be hit, but not immediately. I think, personally for me, I'd like to see YCS San Diego play out. People have made travel plans. They've gotten their cards. They've gotten their decks. But I would like to see maybe even that Friday, the hits announced. Something to really look forward to through that YCS weekend. I'd like to see the evolution of this deck a little more. And it's obvious that the meta is evolving around it. No Trickstars in that top cut, yet we have 3 Pendulum Magicians, a single Invoked once again, and a Burning Abyss. A Burning Abyss. Ken Fuller just managed to top a regional and Pendulum Magician format with the Burning Abyss at the Indianapolis Regional. Now Burning Abyss comes in with its Vanity's Fiend and Full Power Spiral format in a YCS with a beast of a competitor, Michael Forner. Michael Forner had come in to YCS Dallas with Spyrals and topped alongside Marcelo. I think he was on that points grind. I think they both stopped in New York as well. But this man comes into London with the Burning Abyss on his back. Dante coming back at it again. Sometimes you live long enough as the hero to become the villain, then you live long enough as the villain to become the hero. Once again, that's Dante's role. And you can come over to Lithium's channel to see this deck profile for yourself. Come check it out. Lithium, definitely always an amazing addition to the community. A great duelist out there showing us what's good. What's really good. So thanks, Lithium. I'll have that linked first thing down below, but Vanity's Fiend and Floodgate cards seem to be still doing it here really well. Why is that? Well, Spyrals, in order to be optimal, need to be able to try to have so many combo cards that they can recover from the hand trap heavy format. What's that mean? We're not playing Field Wipe's main deck or any outs to Vanity's Fiend. So when he got to win the dice roll, sometimes he just shut that game right down. Now the side decks might have helped a bit against him, and he's not always going to get that Vanity's Fiend out, but his deck is not susceptible to hand traps at all unless they were ready for it. Unless they had Winter Cherries and they already had Dante because they saw this coming, which is unlikely because they're looking at ABCs and Buster. They're looking at other decks that were thought to be good for this format. And Burning Abyss was not in the conversation until a couple weeks ago, thanks to Ken Fuller. But now it's just busting out there. Let's see how many BA duelists show up to YCS San Diego. But definitely, Michael Forner, congrats. And I actually didn't know he was a youngin. Look at these profiles, these amazing profiles put up by the Europe coverage. They already have video coverage where we can actually talk in a stream chat. Ooh, it's nice to be free. But on top of that, they go in depth with player profiles, and they make it very nice. They let them talk about their teams. Shoutouts to Team PPG here. They let them go in, and I didn't know Jesse Cotton was so young either. 17-year-old dominant duelist out of Canada. He does play Spyrals. He notes it's the most powerful deck, and he's the first featured. In the first place, it's almost like they knew it was coming. But maybe it's more interesting because he was a Canadian, the invader that managed to take down the European event. And he also said that he felt pretty good that he has a good deck. Last weekend I attended Dallas and had a good practice. And he also talks about main decking Ghost Reaper and Gamma mainly for the mirror and citing 3 Solemn Strikes and Scolding. Shoutouts to Team PPG. We scrolled through some Spiral Duels. Sorry, Spiral Duels, less interest in you. as we get down to some invaders of decks in this top 8. We got Mario playing the Invoked. He decided to play the deck because it's one of his favorite decks. It's a great fun deck to play in one of the competitive alternatives. Spiral, the deck can main deck a lot of hand traps without dissolving any of its key strategy. Actually, in my opinion, the hand traps help because when you're discarding the hand traps, you're enabling your fusions after already using a resource that countered the opponent. You're able to pitch cards and get Mecha Buzz or Purgatorios. I always call it Purgatorio. But it's really awesome that it actually fuels your deck in a sense as well. How do you feel about your chances of winning today? It's my first top, which I'm very happy about. Of course, I'd love to win, but my chances are as high as anybody else's in the top 8. Then he explains that he loves Gofu in his deck because it extends his plays. Shouts to his family and Blaze Phoenix team. So that's I don't think that's an OTS team, but they let them shout it out here over on the London coverage. It's crazy how much freedom they give and how they make it about the players and who they are and how they are, and they give them a voice, and that's what's awesome. Michael Forner here, I did not know he was of the young age of 16. He is playing the Burning Abyss, and he explains people are playing 10 or more hand traps, and I decided to choose a deck that does not get hurt by hand traps. I feel like it was a very good pick. He says about his chances of winning, I'm going to play it round by round and give it my best. We'll see. That is a winning mentality. I'm not looking ahead. I'm looking at the next round and the next round. Let's take it down one at a time. Unfortunately, this is where our man's fizzled out in the top 8. And he said the whole deck is basically a tech card. No final words. I don't think he planned on finished speaking yet, but there you go. Like I said, you can hear the rest over here. Over on Lithium's channel. Oh man, I would rather him be explaining his deck than me. And another Spiral player, but I love how they let him hold up the flag. They give them the ability to have personality. They're featuring these duelists. And I just want to shout out their site also. Look at how this site is built, how it looks. Like, you're able to come in and actually just click on these things, and you're able to see what's going on by the thumbnail. I want to give an example versus YCS Trinidad overall, where we're gonna look at this. Like, sometimes it pops up to where you can actually see what's happening, but for a lot of the rest of the coverage, it just looks like this. And that's a lot less inviting, a lot less exciting. I really think they're slaying it on the coverage over in Europe. And something interesting to note from Trinidad, yes, there were 2 premier events this weekend, was the top 8 had another Worlds competitor in it who came over here. Oh, no, we're down to 4 duels. Looks like that's a wrong link on top of it. That's definitely not the standings after top 8. Here we are, Asala Wathu Thondragay, if I'm not murdering that one. Asala managed to come in and slay the field, come into top 8, but unfortunately, I believe this is where he fell as well. Barrett Keys managed to top 32, the Necros Master, you might have remembered. 4 Necros finals, 2 wins for him. He managed to come in here and top 32 as well. So, pretty exciting event. There was a Pendulum Magician in top 4. Spiral on Spiral action for the finals. Again, I would love to see a hit directly around YCS San Diego right after it. I'm not begging for an emergency ban list, but man, I'd like to see some change real quick too. A lot of you guys took that as me saying Spirals don't need to get hit. They need to get hit hard. They need to get slammed. I would just like to give them their time in the meta. YCS San Diego, I hope, is our last full power Spiral premier event by far. But we come into this top 8 over here as well. I think it's awesome. But another thing to note is the Mega Regionals. What is this, a Mega Regional? That just sounds exciting, right? He wins a Blood Mefist, a prize card you can't get anymore but isn't reprinted. I really like that they thought of the players and chose a prize card that they can't get reprinted in a pack like Minerva. Here is something special for you for winning. Age 17, Pascal Kiem managed to come out of Germany, Berlin into London, playing his Trickstars that made day 2 and lost on the bubble and take down a Blood Mefist. He says, I didn't want to play Spirals in the first place and wanted to play a deck that can run as many hand traps as possible without hindering the consistency of the deck. And when asked why he chose the Mega Regional, you know, over giant cards or something, I was attracted by the prize card in the invite for the WCQ. Blood Mefist is no joke of a prize card. This is extremely hard to get, but look at how well their coverage is done. It just excites me, and it really gives me hope for the future that maybe Konami USA will be looking at this, paying attention to this, reformatting. This is just coverage.yugiocard.com. I would love it in this format more than ever to see it end up looking like this. It's so much more inviting. The layout's so nice. I really feel like I'm at a site I want to be at over here. Now, I was complaining about it a bit before the finals had popped up. I like this from Konami. It makes me want to click this a little more when you have a preview, but overall it looks like on average they kind of just ignore that until like the bigger parts. Like that's all the UDS coverage looks kind of like that, and that doesn't do it for me. This definitely screams that this is the future of written coverage, and this is in addition to their video coverage all weekend. You could have watched all the matches. It was beautiful. So thanks for watching, guys. What did you think of the events of this weekend? Burning Abyss invading the top 8 along with Invoked. So, you know, decks making it past the top 16 that aren't Spyrals, pretty nice. Despite the ratio here, it seems like the Rogue decks really did what they were trying to do when playing against Spyrals in a Spiral-heavy field. I was even thinking about Burning Abyss. Like, Trickstars might hurt them a lot by banishing a Graph or Seer out of the hand, but wasting the resources to expend Dante and then do that, and, you know, all their hand traps still being pretty useless, it's pretty insane. So let's see how this actually infects YCS San Diego, and will people be playing Dante with their Ghost Reapers and Winter Cherries on the side just for this deck in case? I look forward to seeing how this meta actually evolves with you, Duelist. Thanks for watching. Let's watch it evolve together and watch where it's going.